Alright guys, welcome back to the last installment of scheduled flight instruction episodes from rchealiresource.com. And I'll let you guys know this doesn't mean it's the end of the series, but this is the last episode that we had planned for. So if you guys have any other suggestions for maneuvers to do, feel free to comment on the section below the video, and we'll gladly take into consideration doing videos for maneuvers we haven't covered. So to close off the lesson, or the whole the series, I felt it'd be good to kind of go over how pros incorporate all this knowledge I've thrown at you guys into those crazy flights they put down. Because I find that there's a lot of people that are great pilots and they know what they're doing, and they can do pyroflip just fine, steady, and maintain it. And they can do TikToks, and they can do this, and they can do that, and they do it all real well. But the flight just doesn't have the wow factor of the pros, and the missing link there is the moves that they use to connect those different actual set maneuvers. Now, the thing is that's hard for me here is putting on a great flight while I'm trying to think and talk at the same time about what I'm saying and sound like I'm not a complete idiot like I am, but I'll try my best. You can, if you watch any pro fly, you know, it varies from pilot to pilot in their flying style, but a lot of the flight is really just connecting big maneuvers together. So, if you look how, you know, I won't name anyone for example, let's say someone who does a lot of smackdown, a lot of the flight may consist of just, you know, half pirouetting flips, snappy flying, and low to the ground, you know, get oohs and ahs type of flying. But then there's other pilots who take it to a different kind of swing to it, where they incorporate a lot of very complex maneuvers, and that's different than how I fly. But the common denominator between these pilots is the fact that each maneuver is connected, and that's what separates them from the average Joe that's out flying, doing some nice 3D at their home field. Let's say you can do all the maneuvers we taught you, but you can't really figure out how to get it going, you know, into a steady flight. You know, okay, I've done my pyroflips, and I come level out, and then I go like that, and I go into backwards inverted hurricane. Okay, that's great. It doesn't look that smooth, you know? So you gotta, the biggest tool in this is watch how the pros fly. Watch what they do and how they connect maneuvers, how they make it look smooth and fluid. So let's say you end a pyroflip. Let's stop and push it out into backwards inverted, which looks a whole lot better than leveling off into a hover and then doing it. You got to connect maneuvers with something fancy. It doesn't have to be difficult, but it's got to look good, and it keeps the whole emotion to the flight going. I have a flying style that's probably not considered. I mean, I'm nowhere near a top pilot, but I tend to fly more smack down low to the ground than very precise big air maneuvers. But what you'll still see is, you know, let's go into some pirouetting funnels right here. Let's turn it around, and then we come back this time. How about we do snakes, but we throw in a piro in between. Oh, don't mess up like that. Throw a piro in between them, incorporating the knowledge you have to spice up a maneuver. Split up that piro so it looks a little different. And what? Oh, reverse it. And now that's something I'm not great at, but you can watch any of the great pilots out there, namely a lot of the people on the Mikado team, who are very, very talented at throwing in piro reversals. And what you really gotta reach to do these smooth flights is just a level of mastery with incorporating all the maneuvers together. You want to be able to do them without really thinking about it. Like when I'm doing a piro flip, I'm not really thinking, oh, I gotta do this, gotta get this little one. But I've done it so much, it's where I just watch and my thumbs are kind of separated from what I'm thinking. So when you go on to the next maneuver, it's not even really like a thought process, you know? It just happens. And it's one of those things that you really evolve with as you grow into a more experienced pilot. It takes a lot of gallons of fuel burnt, and also a lot of time in the sim, but it's something you can't entirely get on the sim. You really just got to get a feel for it on the real helicopter. Because back a few years ago, I was very good on the sim with putting together nice flights. But it just doesn't transition exactly the same over to a real helicopter. It doesn't feel any different, but it just is for some reason. Maybe that's just me, but it is. So the best advice I can give is to watch your favorite pros fly and watch reviews a lot. Not just watch them for entertainment, but think what they're doing. What are they thinking? What are they doing that makes their flight so special? So look at what they're doing. Try and copy some of the things they're doing. I mean, I don't mean literally move for move copy their flight. Oh, at 2 minutes and 32 seconds, he goes from a pirouetting tick-tock down into a backwards inverted hurricane and pushes out like that. I don't mean that, but just incorporate some of those styles that they have and create a whole new style of flying. That's how the sport really has evolved over the past years. You know, when you look back a few years previous, you know, people were flying a little smoother, a little slower. Then SmackDown got really popular, and now it's going back to the big air, complicated flying. So it's all about what you do that guides the way the sport and hobby goes in the way of flying styles. So go out there, burn some fuel, and learn something new, and I guarantee that with a little practice, you will definitely become known at the field for the good 3D guy. So that wraps up the planned lessons, and if you have any suggestions, just leave a comment below.